You know how they say there's an app for everything? They're almost right. In this day and age of fake news and disinformation, don't you just wish there was some sort of way to filter out all those fakes, especially since we know who to blame? Or CNN says it does.
The evidence indicates that this is more of a problem on the right, among some, not all, but some Trump supporters.
So, check out what we stumbled upon. A browser extension that thinks you're an idiot and decides for you what's real and what's not. A politically charged fake news filter made by a bunch of anonymous heavens knows who from a discredited website, but you know, who cares? Let's see how it works. Let's search for some news. The World Economic Forum. So we've got a bunch of articles and sorted by different media establishments. Down here, we've got red flags. Near the RT link, obviously it's marked as fake Russian propaganda, which is strange because it's exactly the same as everything else. But hey, it's Russian. Better safe than sorry. Let's search for an obvious fake news story, like Trump hiring working girls to defile a bed because Obama slept on it. Nope. There it is. Top result. BuzzFeed's ridiculously unverifiable story about Russia and Trump. And we thought we were safe, right? Wrong. No red flags. The story focuses on a bunch of old memos about Russia having blackmail material on Trump, written by God knows who, and it was paid for by Trump's opponents. It's basically unverifiable. The definition of fake news, and everyone's reporting on it, or at least the guys who really don't like Russia and Trump, like BuzzFeed and CNN, the usual suspects. It's simple. The mainstream media wants to seemingly associate Russia with fake news, except it doesn't work. The most resonant recent fake news stories had nothing to do with Russia. The Pizzagate nonsense, tying Hillary Clinton to a pedophile ring. The Washington Post's false story about Russia hacking a U.S. power grid. The fake report about the Pope endorsing Trump. The false rumors of an FBI agent, a murder-suicide, and Hillary's leaked emails. You see, here, when we see an outlandish story that is patently ridiculous and unverifiable, we have a bunch of meetings and make sure we don't touch that story with so much as a barge pole. Editorial policy. BuzzFeed, CNN, no such qualms, it seems. Clicks over content. So, who is the fake news maker?
The President-elect of the United States rightly calling CNN, and by extension all mainstream American news organizations, fake news. This is a truly historic moment in the news business. Where is American news? It's in the toilet. It just means that they're going to continue down the downward slope of irrelevancy.
The hysteria surrounding fake news all started with accusations that Russia tried to influence America's presidential election. And we spoke to cybersecurity analyst Jeffrey Carr about those allegations.
Well, there hasn't really been any proof that the Russian government was directly involved. There is only some proof that Russian-speaking hackers were involved in parts of these attacks, but there is no proof that a Russian intelligence service had any hand in it. That's pure speculation. I was actually quite shocked when I heard that the FBI was denied access to their servers. This now involves an international situation of great importance, and to deny the FBI access to their server, I frankly find that incomprehensible. Well, they have to do a better job of presenting the evidence that is not classified. So in other words, if I were describing something and I could only describe certain things and not others, the things that I do describe have to make sense. They have to be coherent. They have to be consistent. I cannot describe something in a confused manner and then say, oh, but if you only could see the classified evidence. That's what they have been doing, and that is why it's not believable.
Well, the lack of concrete evidence for Moscow's involvement hasn't stopped people and countries worrying about it. France and Germany are now voicing concerns that Moscow could somehow manipulate their upcoming votes. And we spoke to some European politicians who believe that hacking claims are being used as distractions and excuses.
By accusing today Russia of hacking into computers, it seems to me like they are sort of reviving old fears of the Cold War dating back to that time and sort of making a comparison to that. I think the establishment will try to use any excuse to blame outside factors and except look at themselves. They will try to find a scapegoat. They have no one else to blame for the failure of their elections but themselves. That should be very clear.
When you look on the reality in Europe, there is no hostility. The hostility is organized in a very artificial way. You can see it in all leading newspapers. The idea of these people is just to make it impossible for the new US president to go for a better policy, not live as a warmonger as others did.
It's RT International. Lots of stories for you today here on this Thursday, including Poland's foreign minister. He says he's in touch with the Latin American nation of San Escobar. Only problem is, the nation doesn't actually exist. We'll do that story in just a moment.